If anyone has any questions, we shall go through the room in a moment and we'll do those. But Nicholas, if you wouldn't mind reading us a little bit from the end of your book. It's weird, isn't it, saying that your book? Maybe one day I'll do my own. Until then.
So I'll read a section now from the second half of the book. It'll be a section in which David has radicalized to the far right, and he's part of an online group called Will of the Aryan Nation, and they organize these raids online on YouTube. And so the purpose of them is to sort of target sort of left-wing YouTubers who are very popular, and to try and use tactics to de-incentivize other viewers to come to them. David slugs Red Bull, in serious need of caffeine. It's 3:30 a.m. in England. He's exhausted, with sagging eyes, but it's imperative that he thinks creatively, that he's at his sharpest. As he opens the link, blue light glints eerily out from the slits around the keys under his fingertips. The title of the video is Some Facts About Islam to Combat Racists, and the YouTuber is Emma Donnelly. Despite only being up for a few hours, it has amassed 6,000 views. David checks out her recent uploads. Editing my neck on Instagram for a week. Reacting to people reacting to me. My dog is an idiot. Recreating outfits from Shake It Up. Warning, train wreck. Why it's wrong to say all lives matter. And smirks. The customary left-wing mishmash of content. Beauty, fashion, cute pets, and good vibes virtue signaling. He plays a random video. She's about 16 and stunning. Long strawberry blonde hair, big soft blue eyes, bright red lipstick, flawless teeth, flawless white skin. What is she doing lecturing people on Islam? He returns to the relevant video and advances the cursor to the halfway mark. There are two kinds of people in this world during times of trouble. People who come together as one and pause. There's no need to hear more. Using his Amir El-Shahata 2001 fake account, he clicks, I dislike this, and add a public comment. The caffeine is taking effect. He sweeps his tongue across the jagged edges of his upper teeth, left to right to left, thinking, then writes, disgraceful. You should be ashamed, Emma. I left Pakistan to come to Britain so that I could taste freedom and secular life. I wanted to leave Islam and violence against women and organized marriages and blasphemy behind. And now you want to bring all that here? Why can't you let me enjoy my freedom? He finishes his Red Bull and switches to his Princess Famida fake account. I was forced to undergo FGM at 6. How dare you tell me these facts about Islam? You know nothing about Islam. You are perpetrating hate. But as long as that gives you more views, I guess that's fine. Enjoy all the expensive skincare products this video will let you buy. As recommended, he sourced the profile picture for the fake account from Instagram. An Asian girl with chunky, transparent frame glasses reading a Penguin Modern Classics book, and applied a rainbow filter to it. He even went to the trouble of adding a cover photo and playlists to her profile page. His fake accounts appear genuine. Supreme Commander Ritter Kreutz has praised him on just how genuine. Over the next hour, David leaves comments from nearly 50.
Odd, because I've not long recently read that part of the book. Can you read the rest of it to me? Because it's amazing having you read it as well. Before we do any questions, where might we find more of your work in the coming future? The next book that's coming. I want people to be able to find you online, perhaps, and obviously people can come say hi to you afterwards as well. But
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm on Instagram as npadamsee. Website is nicholaspadamsee.com. About 15,000 words into the next novel, so a long way to go on that, unfortunately. Yeah, it'll come.
I love how absolutely modest you're being about promoting yourself at this point. This is your moment. This is your book, and I think you've done such a tremendous job of bringing a very difficult subject and making it incredibly accessible. And as we said a little earlier, having little elements in the book that enable a lot more people to find a way into it through either the teenage age group, age gap, or the gaming, the working in Sainsbury's, and the sitting outside with a colleague that you don't really like, but they're the only other person that smokes, and all those little tiny details that give someone an edge in. I think you've done absolutely brilliantly, and you should be immensely proud of it. Are there any questions? Would anyone like to ask anything? Gentlemen there. So you grew up around here, in Essex. Just interested in kind of your relationship with Essex and kind of how it's inspired your creativity, but also particularly now, actually, how you relationship is encountered in Chelmsford.
Yeah, so I grew up in Shenfield, and went to school in Chelmsford. We used to support Southend United. Used to be a season ticket holder there, so we'd go there every
Sorry
week.
about the weekend.
Yeah, as a boy. Yeah, I have many extremely fond memories of Chelmsford. Great times at school with a lot of really close friends. Still always immensely enjoy coming back to Essex. It's interesting seeing the way over the past 20 years, it's sort of found an identity of its own. Whereas I think there was maybe a time when or especially elements of Essex felt like they were sort of, the boundary of London, the greater London, and you would sort of almost see yourself more as from London. Whereas I think there's sort of more of a pride, rightly so, in being from Essex, which has come over the past sort of 10, 20 years. Seeing venues like this, I was saying earlier, if somewhere like this had been around when I was at school, I would have been here, every Friday night, every Saturday night, probably every Sunday night. And it's so important to have, venues like this that are bringing new bands through. They make Chelmsford a really attractive place to want to come for everywhere around the east of England. And if you're going to school 15 minutes away and you walk past somewhere like this every day, it gives you and you see the listings of all the bands that are on the next month, it gives you an idea that, well, maybe we really can do that, and there's a sort of a doable step that you can sort of take to playing here, a doable sort of dream to have. It's so important to have. So yeah, it's only for the tremendous benefit of Essex that places like this are around now.
Yeah, I was going to just sort of echo that question really about like what is it about Essex that kind of inspires you, but I think it's you're inspiring the next Essex authors. There'll be lots of young people who will read this and relate to it in all sorts of different ways, but they'll go, well, Nicholas can do it, I can do it. And it's not going to say because you can do it because you're a thicko or anything like that, but just like because you're like, well, you live where I live, you went to the school I went to.
Definitely.
I think I remember when I was in secondary school, there was young lady who was 2 years older than me. She went on to be a GB Olympian, and they weren't sharp about it. But I understand why, because they were trying to say, yes, if you come to this school, you can also be a GB Olympian, or an author, or whatever you want to be. And it's not just about the creative arts as well. It could be in science, it could be in politics, or whatever it might be. It is about having that kind of representation, which again kind of goes back into the sort of root of the book. Any other questions?